Hello. Happy Friday. Did I show you guys this cast iron skillet that was really rusty when I got it, but it was only $3? It's still kind of rusty on the underside, but I've been using it to fry some donuts for Grandma, so we've been kind of seasoning it. And I plan on making a skillet pan pizza in here tomorrow for friends, and I'm going live today to do 3 things. We're gonna make the pizza dough ahead of time. I can link you the recipe. It's a recipe that I developed for Delish. If you want to make it along with me, really, you pretty much just need your basic dough making ingredients. Flour, water, salt, a little bit of yeast. We're gonna be making some starter with it. It's like a Chinese starter. It's called the Tangjong method. I actually don't know if that's a Chinese word. It sounds like a Chinese word, but I actually don't know what that word means in Chinese. But basically, you are cooking water and flour together until it forms like a gelatinous mass, and this is the starter that you use in a lot of Asian milk breads to retain moisture and give the dough some additional chew that is very tender and yet still glutinously confident. I'm trying to make it sound like the bread is bouncy but not tough. Am I succeeding or failing? But here, let me link you this recipe. If you have trouble seeing it, you might have run out of your free Delish credits, in which case I'm happy to copy and paste the amounts that we'll be using for the dough at least. So let's see. And so I'll be making pizza dough, and then I need to organize the cupboards, and then I need to organize all the snacks that I plan on taste testing in a video with Samira. So there's been a change of plans. If you joined on the last live, I was polling you guys on whether or not you wanted to see the taste test as an edited video, which will take much longer, like 2 months, or as a live. And then by the end of that live, I concluded that I did not want to do the live because I thought I was going to be consuming some sort of mind-altering substance, and that might have been too wacky to do a live stream of. But since that live, I've also decided that my body doesn't feel great. I think internally there's some sort of hormonal stuff that's going on that's making me really enervated. I don't have any energy. And also we've been experiencing another wave of smoke in the city. So I'm just trying to get my life in order without overwhelming myself. I will be shooting the taste test as an edited video, but I will not be shooting it this Saturday just because I think life is accumulating into stress mode and I want to move myself back from it. So we are shelving the taste test until at least next week, if not later, but we will do it. But today I'm going to use this opportunity to organize everything that I want to taste test so that when the time comes for me to shoot it, I won't have a mess of snacks and products. I will have an Excel spreadsheet, hopefully, that can help me keep track of what I've already taste tested and what I haven't. But pizza dough first. Let me see what I need to do this. The Lidl haul video is separate. I'm currently editing a restaurant roundup video. I hope to finish it by next week, but we'll see. And then after that one's live, I'm going to start editing the Lido haul video. And then after the Lido haul video, we'll edit this once it gets shot. I've discovered that my ability to work and output work has decreased, and I think I'm still dealing with like 50% guilt of noticing my decrease in productivity, but I'm also 50% feeling like this is the right move for me to not have to constantly push myself to do more and more and more. So we're just gonna take it as life comes and try to not push ourselves too much. So for the Tangjong that we're going to make first, it's going to be 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour combined with 2/3 cup of water. So for you guys who are using grams and proper measurements, that'll be 24 grams of flour and 160 grams of water. It doesn't really matter to me how precise you get it, but for the folks who use a scale and don't want to deal with measuring cups, there it is. My ghost? I haven't heard from my ghost. That doesn't mean that the ghost isn't here. It just means that I haven't heard from the ghost. I keep wondering if it's mom. Do we think it's mom? Okay, so I went 2 grams over on the flour, and I went 9 grams over on the water. All of that to say, you will not die because of mismeasuring a little bit. It's fine. This is basically going to form a slurry. We're going to stir it all together until the bits of flour are disintegrated into the water, and then we're going to place this over medium-low heat, and we're going to constantly stir it until we start to see it cook. And when it starts to cook, you will see it form into like this putty of sorts. And it's going to start sticking to the pot, it's going to start sticking to your spatula, and that is normal. So don't freak. My recipe says it takes about 3 minutes, so let's see how accurate my recipe is. This is one of the first pandemic era recipe that I made, so I really don't think I've tested it since, except maybe once for the photo shoot that I had to do for Delicious Quarterly magazine. Gosh, isn't it so weird when you leave a job, but you've spent so much of your life at it that you still identify with it even though they fired you? Yeah. SGG, that's really lovely. Thank you for that comment. I've been, I've been thinking about that too, the quality versus quantity thing. The thing about social media and outputting content and trying to make your living off of content is that you have to play by these games that, demands that you output a certain volume constantly, regularly, to appease the algorithms that I guess we have put into place. It's just kind of nonsensical, and I think it drives us nuts, and I don't feel like doing it anymore. This is going to be like a Jersey style pie, but not really. So you can see that I pinned the recipe if you can access the recipe. It's a deep dish, but not like Chicago deep dish. It's more like a Sicilian kind of deep dish where the dough is quite thick, and it has a sesame bottom crust if you make it according to the recipe. And I also put the sauce first. I put the sauce on top of the cheese. So the cheese goes on top of the bread, and then the sauce goes on top of the cheese. This prevents the pizza from getting too soggy. I was reading a comment that was left on my Instagram yesterday. It is hard to say who the comment was directed to, but I think it was directed to me. It was placed on one of the pinned posts on my Instagram, and the content of the post basically was a screenshot of me talking to a friend about how I want to carry myself into interviews under a different mindset, where the mindset, the mentality is, I don't need a job, but if you have, good experiences in store for me and you like who I am and you know who I am, then I'm game to explore new things and experience new things with you. And then the exchange also ended with, this is how I treat dating now, which I thought was, a healthy mentality, at least at that point in my life. But the comment yesterday, oh, you can see how it's thickening, yeah, gloopy. The comment yesterday was kind of, I guess, critiquing that maybe my post has a strong sense of entitlement and pessimism in it. And I've been thinking, I don't really care about being called a pessimist, but I do constantly think about my entitlement. And I'm not sure if it's entitlement that I expressed in that post. I think I for sure expressed privilege. I think for sure I live my life right now with a certain degree of privilege where I don't have to constantly stress over, at least at this point, finding full-time jobs and bending myself to the will of employers. But I don't know, you tell me. Am I being entitled? I also think that there's a fine line between being entitled and respecting yourself. Sometimes. I think intention does matter. I think capitalism makes it very hard for us to respect ourselves. And it's something that I think about constantly. Okay, so it's thickened, it's bubbling. We're going to let it cool down, okay? And as this cools down, we can mix together our other dries. But this is what I'm looking for. There are other Tangjongs that are much thicker, but you can see that this is like a translucent gloop. Very reminiscent of something that I won't mention by name, but yeah, this is what you're looking for. You think my pendulum has swung very far to one side. What do you think the sides that are available to swing to are in this pendulum? I'm curious. I will do my best to not be offended. I think this is a valid discussion. I would love to hear your thoughts, even if it makes me feel like I'm not a good person. I think it's important for me to have these discussions so that I don't have my head up my ass the entire way. Just a little bit, head up the ass is fine. Not the entire way. Oh yeah, the Supreme Court. I mean, it's a mess, isn't it? There are so many bad decisions this week from our top court of the land. I mean, the person is judging because I posted the conversation in an Instagram post and chose to pin it to my page. So I understand why they're judging me for it, because I put it out in public. Which is, fine. That's how the internet works, right? I put out stuff, you can interact with it however you like, and I can consequently interact with it however I like. Doesn't mean that either one of us will be happy about it, but we can. That's an option. And I think it's encouraged in our current culture to constantly be engaging to the detriment of our health, both physical and mental, but such is the world. Yeah. I also think that I've kind of finished the hardest part of my journey, at least in this chapter of life. I think definitely mom passing away was a huge change, and then everything kind of just snowballed and avalanched from that point on. I will not try out the goodies from the show today. I will be reserving that for filming a taste test video, but today I will be organizing the goodies and putting them in a spreadsheet so that I can see what I have to taste test, and I can like set a schedule for myself for the shoot and to have a mental bank of how many more things I have left to eat. Oh, for sure. I think I do have a lot of only child syndrome. Not proud of it, but I also don't hate myself anymore for it. I definitely did used to kind of hate myself for it. Yeah, you like spreadsheets? Yeah, and it's fine. They might think that I'm entitled, and I think maybe I am entitled. Who knows? Okay, so as our Tangjong is cooling down, we will whisk together water, sugar, yeast, and let sit until frothy. We will not be letting it sit until frothy. I don't think that's necessary because I'm using instant yeast and not acid dry. So here's my yeast, and we will do some lukewarm water, which not necessary. It's quite hot in New York City right now, and especially in my apartment because I've shut off like 80% of my windows. But okay, 120 grams of water. 127, that's fine. 1 tablespoon of sugar. I think I will opt for some organic sugar instead of pure white granulated sugar. One teaspoon of yeast. Hello, Dublin. Only child syndrome, I don't know if it's actually a syndrome, but basically when you grow up as an only child, you don't really get socialization opportunities with siblings, and so, you know, like, you get potentially spoiled, you are the center of attention, your parents only have one child, so they kind of like hone in on you as their only baby, and it creates, I think, a lot of habits and psychology that made me, I won't speak for all single only children, but like I think it made me weird and gave me a lot of friction in learning how to deal with people in the early parts of my life, especially as an immigrant. I was going through cultural changes and language changes and environmental changes on top of being an only child now, having to deal with strangers of all sorts. Okay, so we have water, sugar, and yeast. I'm going to move you closer to me so you can see things as I add them. Okay. And then we will add in 2 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour, and 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. I don't have kosher salt, so I will use table salt, but I'll use a little bit less table salt than I would have otherwise because table salt is a lot more dense. So 2 cups of flour is about 260 grams. I actually asked Samira for some flour because I knew I was going to run out, and lo and behold, I have. I'm about 40 grams shy. Ooh, that's a cool comment. Is your name Lay or Lee? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But they said I might not understand it all, but if people that do have the options act like people that do not have, that makes no sense to me. If you have the option not to be exploited by capitalism, then not owning it is doing a disservice to the bettering of society. Fascinating. Hello, Singapore. The full kitchen organization tour? Did I do that in my last kitchen, Alice? I don't even remember. Was that a Delish video or a personal live stream? Yeah, lots of comments are worth ignoring, honestly. Okay, so I need 40 grams more in here of all-purpose. Great. Man, I don't even remember reorganizing my kitchen on Delish. That's how much content I made that I can't even keep track mentally. And then on top of that, we're gonna go in with a 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour, which this time I only have pastry. I have Bob's Red Mill pastry. I don't actually know if this is gonna provide me with the gluten content that I need, but this is what I have, so we're just gonna use it. So this is only 32 grams. Whole wheat I'm using because it adds a good flavor to it, but I would not recommend that you use too much whole wheat flour in substitution of all-purpose because it's both tougher and more drying and more fibrous. So it might not actually give you the texture and the hydration that you want in your dough. Definitely do not substitute 1-to-1 whole wheat to all-purpose. I would recommend that you can sub out up to 25% of your all-purpose with whole wheat. And I would also recommend that you try to reduce the amount that you're subbing by 20% so that you can account for the addition of dryness factor from the whole wheat. Sounds like I have a very smart troll in my chat today. I appreciate that. Happy Friday to me. I love smart trolls. Oh, I see. Was it, Alice, was that like an FAQ? video of Budget Eats, that might have been where I showed off this fork. Would I do a collaboration with Martha Stewart? I don't think she knows who I am, babe. I don't think she knows who I am. Kimchi fried rice, kimchi salad. You can dehydrate the kimchi, but that's going to be way too hot to do in the summer and take way too long. I'm going to add in my salt now. So I would estimate, let's see, did I give? Okay, it said two teaspoons of kosher salt is 9 grams. So let's see how much table salt. So about 1.5 teaspoons is 9 grams. So we're reducing the volume by about 25% for table salt. Great. I'm so glad that my past self decided to put down measurements. Feels good to know that I did things professionally. Once upon a time, when I had the heart to be professional. Okay, so we should technically incorporate the Tangjong at the same time as mixing this dough. But I also don't want to kill off the yeast, so I have to make sure that it's not too hot. And it's okay because I'm not burning my finger off right now, so I think it's fine, especially because I use cold water in the mix. So what I'm going to do is cover up the yeast mixture with all the flour by leveling the flour across the surface so that once we add the Tangjong, it has some time to cool down a little bit more before we mix it into the yeast part. Kimchi salad? I just said that. I mean, listen, anything can be a salad, right? A salad is just an assembly of things that are mostly cold. So I'm envisioning like you can do a grain salad with farro or barley. You can incorporate some legumes like chickpeas or black-eyed peas in there, or like white cannellini beans in there. You can add in your kimchi as a pickling agent into any salad that calls for pickling agents. You can even chop it up and turn it into a burger sauce, like a special sauce, in place of normal cucumber pickles that normally goes into a special sauce. You can make kimchi soup. That's a lot of Korean dishes are basically kimchi soup. You want me to keep going? Okay, so we have our whole dough, and we're just gonna slowly mix it up. More kimchi things, let me think. Kimchi stir fry, obviously with sliced meats or tofu. I mean, just, I feel like it's such a Korean item. I'm sure there's so many Korean recipes dealing with kimchi, but I don't know how you're gonna use 3 kg of it. But the good thing about kimchi is that it can sit, right? It can sit practically almost forever, so. So the dough for this pizza, I make the day before. It's basically like a hybrid sourdough, but not completely, because there is technically no sourdough in here. But I do just kind of let it sit out for almost a day if you want, depending on the temperatures that you're dealing with. Right now it's kind of too hot to let it sit out for a day, so I'll probably let it sit out for anywhere from 6 to 8 hours maybe, and keep an eye on it. But basically, if you let the dough kind of take on just a little bit of yeast and let it rise on its own slowly, the act of the yeast fermenting will give it a little bit of sourdough vibe without making it full-on sourdough sour. Just helps you develop the flavor a little bit better inside the dough. Obviously, this also matters what kind of flour you're using. Normally I would be using King Arthur flour. I just don't have King Arthur flour right now. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm going to cover the bowl and let it rest for 30 minutes to 1 hour. And then we're going to proceed with stretching it and folding it much like you would do with sourdough bread making. This dough should be enough for 2 pizzas. And I just want to make sure that everything is incorporated because I don't want to end up with any nuggets of Tangjong or dough. You can also start to see how differently it's already behaving. It's like a lot gluier with the addition of the Tangjong, right? I think it's immediately visible the effect that the Tangjong has on the dough. I don't use any pizza stones. I don't own a pizza stone. I'm just gonna cook it on cast iron. The thing about cast iron is if you click on the recipe link, I explained why. Cast iron can go from stovetop to oven. What I do is once the pizza is fully proofed in the pan, I like to start it on the stove. I like to put the pan on the stove with the proofed pizza in it, and I like to turn on the heat as the oven is preheating so that the crust can start to cook a little bit. It gets a head start, and you get a really crispy crust that you might not otherwise have with a home oven, because usually home ovens top out at 500 to 550 degrees Fahrenheit, and most wood-fired ovens that they make Neapolitan pizza in go up above 1,000 degrees. Usually the ideal temperature for a wood-fired oven for making Neapolitan pizza with is hovering around like the 900 Fahrenheit range. Sometimes it can dip to upper 700s, 800s. But it gets way hotter in a professional wood-fired oven than you could ever hope to get your home oven to go to. So you have to kind of adapt to your tools. But anyway, here's the dough. It doesn't look great, but I'm guessing if I trust my own recipe, I guess we'll see if I trust my own recipe, the gluten will develop over time as we stretch and fold it. Kara, I think you should read the recipe, because I wrote a recipe. So people who are asking about lemon teching, you missed the intro part of this live. I have canceled the plan for the taste test video, but I still do plan on lemoning myself. So yes, I will be attempting to bake this pizza after I lemon myself. We'll see how that goes. Has anyone lemoned before? Do you want to give me tips? I am not going to talk more in depth about what I mean by lemoning myself because I'm definitely going to get flagged by YouTube. So this is one of those instances of if you know, you know. And it also requires previous live stream knowledge, I think, a little bit. Yeah, very innocent. Honestly, it should be legal. I don't know why it's not. We've legalized alcohol, so, you know, we've legalized mass prescribing people opioids, but yet we cannot seem to legalize certain substances that don't do nearly as much harm. But yeah, the reason why I'm not talking about it is because it is certainly still illegal by our nonsensical societal standards. It's not actually the lemon that will alter me, it's the thing that goes into the lemon tea that alters me. So there's a clue for those of you who are Googling. Okay, so the dough is going. I'm gonna put on a timer for half an hour, and now I am going to try to organize my cupboards because they're a mess and I have so much wasted space here. Yes. I also have all these things that I took from my mom's house that like definitely does not fit into any pots I have left. I don't know why I keep them. I guess it's just nostalgia and I feel bad for throwing it away. But maybe one day I will throw it away. Hopefully. Got a little steamer cohort here. Great. This thing scares me because it actually cuts your hand if you're not careful. So I'm trying to be very careful about not letting it hurt me like it wants to. what did I want to accomplish? Oh, I wanted to put this rice cooker away. Mom's rice cooker, in fact. Okay, that got something off the counter. All right, we're gonna give this counter a nice little wipe. I feel like I go through those ruts where I suddenly just realize how dirty my house has gotten, and then I get really despondent and disappointed in myself. So I think today is one of those days where I'm both disappointed at my lack of energy and also trying to think of ways to accomplish things that don't take too much energy out of me, and I think this is a pretty good solution to get myself to get my life in order a little bit more. The air fryer attachment is fine. The only thing about the Instant Pot air fryer attachment is that you really can't expect it to fry the top and bottom component. It basically only fries the top part. The bottom part kind of just warms up. It gets a little bit toasty, but nowhere near as crispy or crunchy. So just manage your expectations. Definitely a more devoted air fryer will cook more evenly, but you know, I don't really want to buy another thing. So I'm gonna shift everything down to make room for our taste test haul. And I'm thinking I should probably put them on sheet trays. If I'm not gonna use the sheet trays anytime soon, that'll be a good way to organize things. Back when I used to work in restaurants, one of the most helpful things was to organize the recipes I had to get done by sheet trays. So I would basically mise and measure everything out that I would need for a single recipe and put them all on a sheet tray. It also makes it a very portable grouping of ingredients. You know, you don't have to like lift different containers and bowls of things. You just put it on one sheet tray and you lift the sheet tray and they all come with you. Okay, so let's see what we're working with here. I figured this is like a nice little preview for you guys of what's gonna go on the taste test. And also, you know, introduce the products a little bit in case anybody's interested in what's hitting the market, what new things you can spend your money on and put in your mouth and let it become a part of you forever. I don't know if I know all the stories behind the brands, but I got to speak to quite a few of them. Yeah, the industry is, the restaurant industry is pretty awful. Between the air fryer and the Instant Pot, what would I rather keep? Definitely the Instant Pot. For sure. Especially for someone who likes mush, like me. The Instant Pot is way more valuable. Reuse my baking vessels for something other than baking. Okay, lots of noise. Let's see what we got. Let's see how I should set up the spreadsheet. I think sweet snacks, savory snacks, things that need to be cooked, frozen things, fridge things, perishables, non-perishables, those are all possible categories. I guess this is the part of Budget Eats that you guys never got to see, is like how much planning went into Budget Eats, because I would have to think about what stores I would be going to get my groceries from. I would have to think about what items to buy for the budget. Then I would come back with the haul, and what I would often do is probably the first time I ever filmed Budget Eats, maybe the first 2 or 3 times I ever filmed Budget Eats, I actually tried to stay really true to the budget by not overspending at all. I think the last few times that I did Budget Eats, what I ended up doing was I would always buy like $3 or $4 over the budget, and then I would come back and work out the math to choose the ingredients that I would then use in the episode, because this saved me a lot more time at the store. I would basically go into panic attacks Sometimes because I couldn't work out the math when I was at the store, so instead of putting myself through that, I basically discovered that I can just as easily bring the store home to a certain extent and then figure the details out at home so that I didn't go into panic attack mode. Budget Eats taught me a lot, not just in terms of food and filming. Okay, so let's call this the Food Expo Taste Test. So we're gonna do brand, type, cook, ready to eat or cook. Zesty Z, air popped popcorn, honey and sea salt. This is I'm gonna need a bag for this. Guys, check out this vintage Barnes & Noble shopping bag. Look at that. Must have kept this from middle school or something. Okay, let's do rearrangement of the spreadsheet. I need to organize by genre first, I think. So, okay. Genre. So that would be like snack. Brand. I'm going to be putting all the snacks into this Drain Reed bag that I got from my mom's house. That is kind of gross. But anyway, Zesty Z air popped popcorn. Snack. Zesty Z popcorn. Next we have Singaporean laksa by Homia. I guess this would fall under cook, huh? I wonder how many items I have from this haul. I'm kind of scared, actually. So this, I think I don't have that many things to cook, so I'll start with the bread loaf pan. Next we have the cutest little matzo bites by the Matzo Project. And we have Pop Daddy pretzels. Pop Daddy pretzels, huh? Okay. And we also have Fear cheese by the same company. Next we have Brewer's Pretzel. This is a fun company actually. So it's called Brewer's Food, and it's made in Massachusetts, I think, but I'm actually not sure. Maybe not. The distributor is in Massachusetts, but basically they take brewer's grain that's spent and they upcycle it into snacks, and they have chips and pretzels and cookies. So there's very few ingredients in the ingredients list here: wheat flour, upcycled brewer's grain, sea salt, cane sugar, olive oil, sesame seeds, and that's it. So Brewer's Pretzel, flatbread, and they also make these pita chips. And this one has wheat flour, sunflower oil, upcycled brewer's grain, so that includes barley and wheat, sugar, salt, sea salt, oat fiber, yeast, and citric acid. So pretty simple ingredients. Seems like a good thing to do, I guess, if you have to make packaged snacks. Then I have these masa traditional tortilla chips, and what they do is they fry the corn in beef tallow. And we have confetti veggie chips. This has red radish, carrot, green radish, okra, shiitake mushroom, purple sweet potato, teriyaki, barbecue spices, rice bran oil, maltose, and sea salt. What's next? Then we have Zesto's seasoned tortilla chips, pub style tortilla chip, whole grain corn flour, vegetable oil, sugar, salt, garlic, paprika, onion, celery extract, natural flavor. Made by Cozy, the nut company. That's fun. Okay. Next. We have confetti mushroom chips. Oh, black truffle flavored. Fascinating. Premium shiitake mushroom, truffle seasoning, vegetable powders, rice bran oil, maltose, sea salt. I think I just got bitten. Who's biting me in my own house? And they also gave me a coupon code. You have to spend over $30 to get $5 off. I don't know if that's worth it, but here's a QR code if you're interested. The ghost is back? Did you see someone? Did you guys see a ghost? Ooh, okay, I really loved these. These are tempeh chips. And what's fun about these is they use black-eyed peas in their tempeh. So, if you can see these, I like them. I like them a lot. Very crunchy, very hearty. We have Stellar Mini Pretzel Braids, Sweet and Sparky. We have some Toasted Corn and Peanut Mix by Flo's. Sure. I don't know about that name. Or the packaging, really. Henrietta said, Jumbo Roasted Peanuts wing flavored. I'm pushing all the sweet things off to the side for now. I will have time to come back for the sweets. We have Side Project Jerky. This is a pho flavored jerky. So it has beef, tamari, mushroom stock, lime juice, sriracha, fennel, coriander, black pepper, cloves, cardamom, star anise, cinnamon. I actually tried these at the show. Very perky flavor. It's very sharp on the tongue. So if you like kind of like spiky acidity in your jerky, okay, I'm very excited. These were my favorite snacks from last year's Fancy Food Show, and I got them again. They are basically mushroom chips, and they are, I believe, flash fried. Low temperature vacuum extraction mushroom chips, less oil, more nutrition. So this has shiitake mushroom, maltose, olive oil, sorry, palm oil, but they say it's sustainable, and flavorings. And there's different flavorings for all of them. So I have the wasabi, sea salt, and spicy. I'm looking forward to these a lot. It's also called Mush Garden. I love the name. No, the show's ended. Guys, I don't know about this. This is like cooked steel cut oats, ready to eat. I guess it's vacuum sealed, IDK, produced in South Africa, IDK. But I'm gonna save all my sweets off to one corner and try to go through the savories first. We have some samples from Oh My God pretzels. Oh God, this is kind of overwhelming already. Would you say everything that we've gone through is kind of savory? I would categorize peanuts as savory. So in terms of bag snacks and sweet things, I'm looking. I don't even know what you are, bro. You don't have names on you. There's also some things that I won't be taste testing because they literally don't have names on them, and I don't really know what the point is if I can't even identify what the product is, but okay, so I think we're ending our savory reign. We have some, oh my god, pretzel samples. Two flavors. Drop it in. Then we have some Charlitos Cocina, makers of handcrafted cured meats, sea salt, and pork. Okay. Salami sticks. Yeah, I don't know about that oatmeal either. It's really sketch to me. I'm going to do a little rearranging on my spreadsheet here. So I want to group like all the pretzels together and try to have them be next to each other. Okay. Let's check on our dough first. It's been half an hour. It looks good. Looks good. Let me wash my hands. So we're gonna do a little lift and fold. This is the same thing that you would do to sourdough, basically. Lift and fold. Lift and fold. Tuck, tuck. And that's it. Then we'll set the timer again, and we'll come back and we'll fold it again. And eventually the gluten will just develop over time. All right, let's see. Pretzels, we got a lot of pretzels. I'm gonna move the popcorn down to the last one, and we can start the sweet off with popcorn too. What do I want to move here? We have a lot of pita chips, matzo. Yeah, we have a lot of chips, okay. Pretzel, 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 lots of pretzel, okay. Okay, cool. I think I'm relatively ordered. So these are savory snacks. And then we're gonna move on to sweet snacks. And we're gonna start off with another popcorn. I also tried this one. I loved it. Where is it? It's Tochi popcorn. This one is black milk tea flavored. They have a lot of like very Asian flavors. They have like a salted egg yolk flavor, ube flavor, one other flavor that I can't recall right now, but I do like it. And I look forward to taste testing this. Good job putting it away without even writing what it is. Okay, Tochi, popcorn, black milk tea. Oh, you know what? I should add this to the savory one. This is a black truffle water lily seed. So basically the same plant as a lotus root. They have seeds, they puff it. Okay, this one needs to go above. Okay. Tomato sauce, truffle. Salsas, wasabi, chili sauce. There are too many things in here. Oh my god. This has melted, guys. This has melted. We're gonna have to. This was Rocca Pumpkin Waffle Cone White Chocolate Waffle Cone Bar. It has melted. Womp, womp, womp. I don't think I will be cooking these, but these are from Timeless. Black chickpeas. Have you ever seen black chickpeas? And red lentils. Fun, huh? Way too many chocolates. We might have to have a chocolate specific section. Okay, so let's see. Piña picante, ginger, lime, spicy, dried pineapple. That sounds good. I don't know if that belongs right after black milk tea popcorn though. Let's try something else first. Let's try home style butter shortbread. I actually don't know. This is from Woolworths. So I think these are all from South Africa. Then we have everything but the kitchen sink biscuits. Huh. That's where the rich people shop in South Africa? Okay. We also have caramelized onion squares. Made with flaky puff pastry, twice baked crisp pastry layers. Great. What else we got? Then we have hand decorated biscuits. I don't know. I don't know if I want to. Should I taste test this? Okay, I will taste test it just for you guys. Then we have Effie's biscuits. These are made in the USA. I have a cocoa flavored one with toasted coconut and the original oat cake. Then I have this La Maison shirokane. It's a Japanese biscuit. I have no idea where you can buy this because they come from Japan, so it's going to be very exclusive. That is also melting because it is fucking hot in here. Okay. This is a little overwhelming, not gonna lie. Okay, and then I think we gotta do this steel cut oats thing because, ugh. Flavor break. It just looks so unappetizing. I think people really need to think about when they make a product, does it look like something I want to eat? And I'm not sure I do want to eat this, you know? I'm really not sure. We're gonna move on to some protein bars now, I guess. So first up we have a Yes bar. I chose a very strange flavor that's not automatically sweet. This is a black sesame sea salt one. Then we have some Patter Bar. These are their minis. If you like whole foods, these taste very wholesome. I tasted all 4 flavors. They're made in Denver, you know, so Denver. Organic dates, organic cherries, fair trade chocolate, liqueur, almonds, chia seed, you know the deal. Very fancy, very bougie, very good, very wholesome, but probably way too expensive for me to eat on the daily, so it's a nice little treat. Next we have Wild Protein, I guess that's what they're called. I happen to pick the two that have no sugar in them, so I feel like I'm not gonna enjoy these, but. And then we are going to move into peanut butter bites. Roasted peanuts, cane sugar. This one has cocoa powder and quinoa, and this one doesn't. So I'm very curious what these will taste like. Okay, this is a pretty cool company. It's called Zeba Foods, and they basically bring you dried fruits and nuts from Afghanistan. Small-scale family farms, cooperatives, multi-generational heirloom varieties or foraged in the wild, and they have a factory in Kabul, and they are creating jobs for Afghan women. So I have quite a few here. We have figs, we have raw almonds, we have dry roasted salted almonds, we have a trail mix, and we have a trail pairing with mulberries and apricot kernels. So. Then we have some almond butter from Octonuts. This is a maple almond butter, and this is a almond protein powder. Fascinating. I also got a lot of honey from Appalachian Honey, I think they're called. But let me just Google it, actually. I know for sure they are. Yeah, they're called the Appalachian Beekeeping Collective, abchoney.org. And they gave so many samples of honeys, and you know I cannot turn down honeys, so I have so many honeys. This might be good on our oats, you know? So let me maybe move the almond butter and the honey up so that they... Oh. Appalachian Beekeeping Collective. Appalachian Beekeeping Collective. So I think I should pair this with the oats. You know what? Let's move the oats last. That way we will have taste tested everything, and then we can see. This is why it really helps for me to organize my thoughts out, because then I can start to think about the order of tasting and what makes the most sense. And then we can try the pina picante ginger lime. Pina picante ginger lime pineapple. And that concludes our sweets. Next up we have chocolates. Oh shit. I forgot seeded crackers. Okay, we should put these. This is also Woolsworth. Let's see. Where do you go? You need to go after the flatbread. Insert. Row. Below. Woolworth. Any guesses on how many products we're up to already? It's actually not that bad, y'all. So I think maybe I won't do the cooking in this taste test. I think it'll just be way too overwhelming. I think we can just save those for lives. But let's go on to chocolates then. Oh, but wait, there's also frozen shit. Fuck. Okay. Oh. Damn, girl, this is gonna be intense. Right now we are at 36. Okay, so we have French broad chocolate. What a name. French broad chocolate. We have 3 of them. Then we have Seventh Heaven, which this is product of Israel. I feel very conflicted, as you know how I feel about Israel. I don't really know what their labor practices are, but if you want to do some digging, their brand is called Seventh Heaven. Hazelnut cream is what I have. It's made with oat milk. So I have sweet chocolate, which contains sugar, cocoa butter, chocolate liqueur, ground hazelnuts, oat milk powder, maltodextrin, ground coconut oil, rapeseed lecithin, and vanilla extract and salt. Then we have Lumineux. What a name. Lumineux, rosemary, and currant. We have La Maison again from Japan. We have River Sea chocolates. We have 3 different kinds from them. They are single origin, and they're based out of Virginia. We have Eclat. It's starting to melt. I'm starting to melt too. I was in 2 different expos across 3 different days. So we have a very crushed stroopwafel. I need to figure out who this is. Oh, this Oh wow, they imprinted their name onto the bar. They are called Spring and Mulberry. Spring and Mulberry. Pecan and date. Okay. Then we have 3 different Italian goodies. I don't even know what to call these because I can't really tell what their brand name is, but I think it's called Chocovier. Chocoviar. 3 bonbons. Yeah, this might be overwhelming indeed. And to edit it, we might need to do taste tests separately. The best savory, the best sweet, the best chocolate. Then we have Rocca bar plus waffle in fridge. So that's 2. I am so upset. My fridge leaked and leaked all over this, which is my favorite thing. Fuck. I cannot believe my fridge. This sucks. Tavernier chocolates. This is basically like a chocolate mousse. It's made to be on a charcuterie board, but I hate that it got soaked. Shit. And it looks like my phone hates that it got soaked too. My fridge has been doing very weird things. I do not like this fridge. It has been leaking all over the place. So I'm actually gonna dry it off as much as I can and freeze it. Then we have Edie's. The creator of this brand actually recognized me at the fair. She watches the shows. I guess Budget Eats. So this is a sunflower seed butter with organic white chocolate bar. It also has rice milk powder, almond flour, ground vanilla beans, powdered sugar. So it's basically like a peanut butter cup but sunflower seed butter. This one is called a white chocolate chai. Okay. And we have Toroncino. I don't know what this is, but I got it. Finally, we have some frozen drinks. We have Natalie's tomato black pepper Himalayan salt reishi. This is a lot. Then we also have some white mustache ice pops. These are made with whey. They have fresh mango, yogurt whey, cane juice, so sweetened and fruited. And this one is called Scoot. It's basically frozen lemonade with 0 fruit juice. They say it right here, it contains no fruit juice. So all you have is water, invert sugar, maltodextrin, natural flavors, citric acid, malic acid, sodium citrate, red 40, yellow 5, caramel color, sodium benzoate, potassium sorbate, xanthan gum. I did not take this product. It was given to me. And so I took it. I'm very sad about my favorite thing that I was gonna taste test, but we will make the best of it. We will freeze it and hope it survives. I think I should transfer the chocolate to the fridge. They look devastatingly soft in this weather. But I'm also terrified of everything getting dripped on in the fridge, so. Let's just hope for the best. wanted to show you guys this. This is the same creator of the laksa mix. She also does a sambal chili crunch, and this one has seaweed. I like this one more, but if you like chili oil, I think you're gonna love this. There's actually no spice to this. It's just sunflower oil, onion, chili, coconut sugar, salt, yeast extract, and this one has seaweed and this one doesn't. So this one has shrimp, dried shrimp, really tasty. So if you're into your oily condiments, you might want to give this a try. As you can see, it leaked all over. Oh, we have one more drink. Irish cream coffee latte. I think that concludes our haul, y'all. And now I'm really glad that I did the Excel spreadsheet because I found out the chocolate pate was sitting in water. So at least we could have salvaged that a little bit. Let me tell you that we are up to 53 items. That's less than I thought we would have. We're gonna fold our pizza dough again, and then I'll let you go live your lives. It is poofing, because it is hot in here. It is very hot in here. Cute, huh? So I think instead of the 6 to 8 hours I was thinking for winter temperatures, I probably won't let this sit out for longer than 3. Just the way that it's going, it's gonna ferment way too fast. And once you have dough that is too fermenty, it'll start turning bitter and unpleasant. And also the yeast won't rise as readily when you actually need it to, because it'll have eaten through all the sugary bits. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this surprise live, and what else? Oh, I guess I can show you the stuff that I won't be cooking in this taste test. Matriarch, they do tomato sauces. I got tomato basil and arrabbiata, no added sugar. They have a mission statement, decrease greenhouse gases, and it's basically kind of like using less than ideal tomatoes to form it into tomato sauce. Then we also have salsa matcha and salsa ghee, or I think it's ghee, but I'm not sure, but 2 different kinds of salsas that are basically like chili oils. This one has olive oil, almonds, chili, pepitas, apple cider vinegar, garlic, tamarind, sesame seeds, salt, and oregano. And this one has chilies, garlic, sesame seeds with olive oil. So one is way more simple than the other. We got some black truffle infused hot sauce, because truffle is all the rage now.
We got some Mama O super spicy kim chili sauce. Interesting. This has white vinegar, red pepper flakes, garlic, ginger juice, organic sugar, lime juice, salt, and boot jolakia powder. I have no idea what that is. There is no fish or sea creatures in here. So I guess this is vegetarian, at least. We have pancake and waffle mix. This one has popped popcorn inside. So very interesting. Tasting notes are cornbread, pie crust, and sweet almond. I have a hojicha green tea powder with brown sugar. This one was so delicious. And finally, I have some wasabi salt and furikake with wasabi salt inside. I don't remember the Japanese company that was sampling these, but the wasabi salt is really delicious. How did I pack this originally that everything fit? I'm a genius. Bye! Happy Friday and weekend.